Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, what I'm going to be bringing you guys is some super exciting information regarding the physical Atlas V4 passes that have been spoken about since the beginning of fucking time. And this is because they have finally arrived. After all of this time waiting, speculating, getting extremely moist, they have finally been delivered to a certain amount of people. There's a lot to talk about here, but I will say now, don't get too overly excited because we don't yet know how significant these passes are to Waking Titan. They could literally be a gimmick, but there are so many things to look into. It's highly unlikely, but again, I'm going to get into this all very soon. But yeah, the passes are here. I want to talk about some interesting things with them, little details on the passes themselves, what these details can mean, and essentially sum everything up that's happened so far for you in one video. So with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. So the first time anyone heard of this news was when a user on Reddit posted a link showing an Atlas pass that had been delivered. This photo has now been removed. I think it's because he showed his little personal CSD code, which you aren't supposed to share, but thankfully I saved the original, so don't worry, you know, dad has you covered here. Now, initially, when I saw this on Reddit, I was very skeptical. In fact, I believed it was fake, or I believed that this bloke had 3D printed an Atlas pass, put it on Reddit to try and, you know, stir up a bit of tension, things like that. And I also just sort of felt it was a bit shady, mainly due to the fact that no one had kind of updated me on this. Usually I get people DMing me on Twitter, on Discord, shit like that, saying stuff's happened. It hadn't blown up on Reddit, and there wasn't a shitstorm going down. So, you know, hopped onto Discord and, yeah, I knew something was up for sure. So this Reddit post was the first person to receive a physical Atlas pass. However, now many more have been received, so this was not just an isolated case. Now, the physical Atlas pass itself holds some cool details. First of all, I want to get the obvious stuff out the way that people have been asking a load on Discord and shit like that. This is stuff to do with like the material, the size of it, things like that, the general aesthetic questions that people have. So according to those who have the passes, the material is like thick cardboard and it's actually shiny, so no, it isn't cheap looking. It's also fairly small as well. Peaceful Gamer uploaded a photo of his pass in front of his monitor, and you can basically hold it with your index finger and your thumb. It isn't really that big. He also posted a video on Twitter of him flexing it under a light, and it just looks fucking fit. Like, it looks really goddamn nice in that light. A link to that Twitter video will be in the description for your viewing pleasure. But what is actually on the Atlas passes themselves is what is causing a bit of excitement, and this is because on the far right, no fascist jokes here, there is a small bit of text reading 16A. Now, this is a class designation. This isn't anything new. This is something which we knew way ago, back when Waking Titan was still going on, pre 1.3 update, and it's basically a method of grouping. These are little designations. At this point in time, we don't know their significance, but we do know that there are multiple different groups. 16A is just one. There have also been reports though of some people having the designation of L15 on their physical passes, but we also know that there are loads more designations that have not yet been rolled out, but I'll touch on this soon. Below this designation is also a string of Hex Code. Good old Hex Code always comes back, and people have naturally translated this little string to spell out the word Phoenix. Now, yes, we've tried this as the glyph, and it doesn't work. It's not the password for the glyph. Let me just say that right away. However, the word actually has a load of really interesting connotations that can tie into No Man's Sky both physically and metaphorically. But again, I'll detail this very soon. And from all of the passes that have been received, the Hex Code has always been the same. So until we get other passes, we really don't know if this is something that could change, if this is the same for everyone, or it's actually something unique based on geography or designation. Now, it's also worth mentioning that apparently these passes were delivered to these people's houses in plain white envelopes by regular mail. So no couriers, no NPCs, no Sean Murray himself, just regular post. And as of right now, only those who live in Canada have received their passes. So it's quite likely that shipping will be regional and each country will get theirs delivered separately. So this means that us in the UK massive, when Royal Snail finally delivers their shitty post around midday, it won't come anytime after that because it's just regular post. This isn't like DPD or something like that that delivers at fucking 10 o'clock at night. So if you don't get one when everyone else does, either Royal Fail have fucked it up again and it's a day late, or maybe you weren't lucky enough to get one. I'm hoping for the best. I don't know if the UK is going to be the last one. I don't know if it's going to be the next one. We just don't know. At this point in time, the whole regional thing is a massive mystery. Now, on the back of the passes, there isn't anything overly crazy. There is a personal code that you should not share, and there is also a number out of 10,000. Again, this significance is currently unknown. The only thing which we do know is that 10,000 Atlas passes were shipped, so it's likely that they're going to be numbered with like a special designation, something like that, which is pretty cool. So let's end the video taking a nice big bite into this word Phoenix. Now, this is where I sort of put my tinfoil hat on a bit here, and I want to look at what this word implies. What are the connotations of this? What are people thinking? So the first big fat elephant in the room, which people are absolutely wetting themselves over, that is not a word, is that it somehow ties into Waking Titan. Basically, Phoenix is a clue to help us solve the glyph which we've been stuck on since the dawn of time. People have been drawing up links to literature. People have been drawing up links to the classic Greek mythology. There is quite a lot on the go. Again, these things take time. At this point in time, we aren't too clear if there's a actual significant theory, but there are some things being worked on, but quite a lot of it does seem a bit far-fetched. So Waking Titan is definitely likely, but at the moment we're in such infant stages that nothing significant has developed just yet. Another big idea is that this word is actually giving us a hint of the update's contents. Now, this is because a phoenix is something which is reborn from ashes and fire. So the general link is that the universe of No Man's Sky is going to be getting a complete revival with something like new procedural generation, which also ties nicely into the 1.5 theory. I remember this was a big thing with 1.3. People were saying how 1.3 will basically be the revival of No Man's Sky, the relaunch as such, but 1.5 and this whole Phoenix idea is supporting that a load more, especially with the whole Windows 8 to 10 argument. The idea that Hello Games would skip 1.4, go straight to 1.5 because it's such a big fucking update that they need a big fat chunky name to associate with it. This whole Phoenix idea with being reborn as such, you know, No Man's Sky is now this incredibly satisfying game with incredible procedural generation and things like that. It ties very nicely in. This theory now has a load more credibility than it did before. And the final argument is that this is more metaphorical than physical, and this is the idea that No Man's Sky is being reborn from the shitty launch, the backlash from the community, the backlash from people that just bought the fucking game, absolutely hated it, and all the missing features, and just the general shit show that No Man's Sky was at launch. And this update is going to, as I said, basically rebirth the game. It's going to be the game we were sold on. It is basically a really dramatic relaunch. So that's basically all we have on the matter. This is really difficult to make because I feel like things are going to develop so quickly that I'm going to have to basically do a video in like an hour, upload it in an hour and all of that. So I'm going to be sweating my tits off, but it's worth it just for you guys. But basically all I have to say on the matter. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy them, please do feel free to leave a like on the video. And if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.